All right, Math 7 students, today we are doing circumference of a circle. Again, not overly difficult. You just have to kind of know the formula for how to figure out circumference of a circle. First of all, what is circumference of a circle? Let's just kind of talk about that. Circumference is your distance all the way around this circle, if you look at that. So you start at one point and it's what is the distance all the way around? You can imagine trying to measure that with a ruler would be extremely difficult. So we don't do it that way. In math, we have a formula for this. So what is that formula? You've probably heard of, and not sure you've ever used before, but we'll find out. A circle, when it comes to circles, we use a measurement called pi, okay? And it comes with kind of a fancy little a thing. So to find the circumference of a circle, if you're given the diameter like this one, finding circumference is very easy. It's just simply you take that diameter, which is 9, and you multiply it by pi, okay? Well, first of all, what does pi equal? Pi equals, it's an irrational number. This is the first irrational number that you have ever worked with. Okay, and an irrational number means that it's a decimal that never ends and never repeats. Never ends and never repeats. No matter how many digits into the billions, the trillions, doesn't matter how many digits, it will never end and it will never repeat. So it's called an irrational number. So because that's kind of impossible to work with, mathematicians have simplified it. And what we use for pi is simply 3.14. That's not the real measurement of it, but it's really close to the real measurement. So whenever you think of pi and you're going to make calculations, we just substitute in the number 3.14 for pi. So in this case, if my diameter was 9, I'm going to take that 9, plug that in for the diameter. I'm going to plug 3.1 in for pi, and I'm going to multiply them out. So again, we take this one, and we take the circumference equals the diameter of 9 and multiplied by pi, and 9 times 3.14 is 28.26. So our circumference of that circle is 28.26, okay? Now, you might know that what if they only gave you the radius? The radius would only go halfway across the circle, correct? Well, in order to get to the diameter times pi, you know the diameter is what of the radius? It's twice as much. So another formula that equals exactly the same amount, hopefully this will make sense, is simply 2 times the radius, because we know that 2 times the radius is the exact same thing as the diameter. So if they give you the radius, you simply take the radius, multiply it by 2, which then gives you the diameter, and then you multiply it by pi, okay? Which, by the way, this one is necessary when we get to this formula right here. We know that this circle has a circumference of 452.16 units. So the distance around a circle is 452.16. We need to back this one up or work it in the opposite direction, figure out what the radius of this is, okay? So we know that the circumference, C, equals 452.16. We know because we need the radius, we have to plug it into this formula right here. If we only needed the diameter, we would plug it into this formula over here, but we need the radius, so we're going in this formula. So, first step. If you're anything like me, guys, you do not like decimals, okay? And you'll notice here, I took pi and I substituted in 3.14 for pi. So the first step I always like to do is get rid of the decimal. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3.14. As I divide both sides by 3.14, I get this to equal 144 equals 2 times the radius. And then, in order to get the radius by itself, I just need to divide by 2. So when I divide both sides by 2, I get the radius equals to 72. Hopefully that makes good sense to you. Sorry for the little longer video on the 4 minute and 30 seconds, but hey, it is what it is. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.